Teaching 119. Love each another. 1. I wanted humanity to know the history of the people of Israel, because I took that people as an instrument for my lessons and subjected it to great tests so that it would be like an open book for all generations. 2. Those 12 tribes represented humanity of all times. But now the similarity between a captive people in a strange land and the present world, slave of sin and materialism, which are the forces that represent the power of the new Pharaoh. 4. I will make a new alliance with men, but not with symbols. My spirit will be present in it. 5. In my people, the ideal of good will reappear, and the desire to unite with all the peoples of the world, as those 12 tribes united, when they crossed the vast desert, animated by the same ideal. 5. In my people, the ideal of good will reappear, and the desire to unite with all the peoples of the world, as those 12 tribes united, when they crossed the vast desert, animated by the same ideal. 6. The fight and obstacles will be great. Adversaries and temptations will arise along the way. More than at that day. The soldiers will come out full of courage, and the apostles full of charity and faith. Throughout the journey, but especially in trial, I will cheer the crowds and encourage their faith with my prodigies. And when men have achieved peace and live in harmony, I will make this earth begin to savor the sweet fruits of the kingdom of light and peace, as a foretaste of the delights that the Spirit will later have when He comes to dwell in the Spirit mansion. 7. The fruits that the Spirit gathers from here will be a compensation for the sacrifices, struggles, and deprivations it has suffered. Your heart. Later, when this people, like an immense crowd, knocks on the gates of my kingdom, I will go out joyful to open to say to them, Come, come to me and leave the dust of the road and fatigue. Here is the city of peace, decked out, waiting for its new inhabitants. 8. The people, fearful in the presence of their Father, will believe that the hour of their judgment has arrived. Then I will say to him, Do not be afraid. Come to my house which is yours. The desert has already purifying you and made you worthy to come to me. 9. People, seeing so much wickedness among men, knowing their hatred and their wars, and knowing the painful result of materialistic doctrines, you have thought that in order for this humanity to regenerate and follow my law, before you will have to endure great trials, and it will take a long time for you to come to love yourself according to my teaching. 10. I tell you that although it is true that great trials await this world, the days of pain will be shortened, because their bitterness will be so great that it will make men wake up, turn their eyes towards me, and listen to the voice of your conscience that will ask you to fulfill my law. 11. My justice will be the one that cuts everything bad that exists in this world. Before, I will scrutinize everything, religions, sciences, and institutions. And then the sickle of my divine justice will pass, binding the tares and leaving the wheat. All good seed that I find in the hearts of men, I will leave it to continue germinating in the spirit of humanity. 12. There are peoples and entire nations that have thrown my seed out of their hearts, others who have forgotten my maxims, others who neither watch nor pray. However, and despite the sterility in which they live, these peoples will soon be converted into fertile lands, because my charity will descend into their hearts. 13. It is necessary that you prepare the tool, that you fill the barn with the spiritual seed that I have brought you, and that, through the gifts that I have entrusted to you, know the hour when you will have to leave your rest, to get up to sow. You will watch and pray, so that blessed dawn does not surprise you asleep in ignorance, in materialism or in sin, because then you will not recognize the time to go after the lands, and when you want to get up, you will no longer find the strength to fight. 14. If you have faith in my word, Prepare yourselves from now on through prayer, so that you may find the lands favorable to sow them. If you do not finish this work, your children will take the seed of love that I have given you, and they will carry my donates to an end. 15. Blessed are the workers who are ordered to go to fertilize and cultivate the lands, because they will see descending on their fields the dew of my grace, which will be the constant blessing of the Father on the efforts of the Son, and a caress for all who are resurrected to faith and life. 16. Long ago it was said to you that the moment would come when man would understand everything that had been revealed since times gone by. And I tell you that that time has already begun, and that in it, your spirit receives my light through inspiration. 17. Christ came into the world and opened the way for you, teaching you with his life, with his works and his words, the perfect way to fulfill the law. Before he appeared in the world, he was announced by the prophets, in order that the people would wait and recognize him when he was in front of his eyes. 18. In Abraham and in his son Isaac, I gave you an image of what the sacrifice of the Redeemer would be. When I put the love that Abraham professed for me by asking him by his own hand to sacrifice his son, his much-loved Isaac. In that act, if you know how to meditate, you will find a similarity of what later was the sacrifice of the only begotten for the salvation of the world. 19. Abraham was the representation of God, and Isaac the image of Jesus. At that time the patriarch thought that if the Lord, he asked for the life of his son, it was so that the blood of the innocent could wash the faults of the people. And despite loving him profoundly, who was flesh of his flesh, obedience to his God and charity and love for his people, more than the life of his beloved son, the obedient Abraham was about to deal the mortal blow on his son. At the moment in which, overcome with pain, he raised his arm to sacrifice him, my power stopped him, ordering him to sacrifice a lamb instead of his son, so that that symbol would remain as a testimony of love and obedience. 20. Centuries later, humanity had to ask me for the sacrifice of Jesus, my beloved son, and I was to give it to you, so that his example of meekness, sealed with his sacrifice and with his blood, be indelibly written in the consciousness of humanity. 21. If in the case of Isaac, a lamb came to replace him to rescue his life, in the case of Jesus there was no one who he could be replaced by, for he knew that it was necessary for his blood to be shed, so that the essence and light of that sacrifice enlighten the spirit, heart and understanding of men lacking in spirituality. That is why Jesus is called the Lamb of God. The law tells you, you shall not kill. And Christ in his doctrine of love taught you the sublime lesson of dying to save others. 22. Blessed is he who dies giving his life to those who need it, because it will live forever. 23. See how the time has come for you to extract the spiritual essence contained in my past revelations, those to which humanity only interprets in a material way, without trying to delve into them to find their spiritual meaning. 24. I place you at the beginning of the path of analysis, so that later you can get to the bottom of my lessons. If in everything I gave it completely clarified, your spirit would not make an effort to penetrate to the bottom of my word. 25. I will remind you of how in that second era, when that bloodthirsty multitude finally beheld Jesus hanging on the cross and next to him agonizing 2 others sentenced, he heard him say to the Father, "Forgive them, Lord, because they know what they are doing." Everyone present heard, but did not understand those words, and time had to pass, so that men understood that that blood slowly shed on the earth was the symbol of divine love and of the supreme forgiveness that like an infinite mantle descends to cover all men. 26. Many centuries have passed, and the humanity of this time, who cries when remembering the sacrifice of Jesus, and who is amazed at the cruelty of those who took him to the scaffold, It is the same cruelty that daily sacrifices thousands of brothers. 27. If Christ were to return to earth at this time, made man, he would no longer say as he did on Calvary, "Father, forgive them, because they do not know what they are doing," because now you receive in full the light of consciousness, and the Spirit has evolved a lot, who is unaware that I am the giver of life, and that therefore no one can take that of your brother. If man cannot give existence, nor is he authorized to take what he cannot give back. 28. Humanity. Do you believe that you are complying with my law just because you claim to have religion and you comply with external worship? The law tells you, "You shall not kill," and you are profaning that commandment by pouring out torrents on the altar of your sin, the blood of your brothers. 29. Israelites and Christians wage war and kill each other. Didn't I give one and the other a single law? 30. The restitution will be bloody and painful, because the lives that men have taken and the blood that they have shed, they cry out for justice. Woe to those who have killed, and even more so to those who have advised or ordered to kill. 31. Step by step, a people's advance towards the valley where they will have to unite to be judged. 32. And those who wage war and have their hands stained with the blood of God still dare to pronounce my name. Your brothers, are those the flowers or the fruits of the doctrine that I have taught you? Didn't you learn from Jesus how he forgave and blessed the one who insulted him and died giving life to his executioners? 33. Men have doubted my word and lacked faith. That is why they have entrusted everything to his own strength. Then I have let them be disappointed in themselves and reap the fruit of their works, because only in this way will they open their eyes to understand the truth. 34. On this table of love there are delicacies that not even the kings of the earth could offer you. They are the bread of heaven that seeks the poor, and the wine that the world's outcasts come to drink. Eat and drink, but never be puffed up by possessing these goods, because you will be hiding vanity under your rags. And I want you to be humble in spirit and heart. Take the example of those who, wearing a royal mantle on their shoulders, also know how to carry humility in his heart. The bread and my wine are for everyone, because I see you all in need of the Spirit. At first I gave you all with my grace, which is divine seed. Since then you have gone through different paths according to your destiny, and in those ways each one has gathered according to his sowing. Some the fruits in abundance, others have only harvested pain and misery, while some have lived briefly on earth, because they have obtained the necessary light to rise. Others, living long in the valley of tears, have not even got to know who they are, or where they are going. I have charity of those spirits who walk aimlessly, stopping them to show them the path that leads to the promised land. 35. The light of my Spirit penetrates every heart, even when it remains closed. Like the light of the sun, who apparently does not enter your bedroom when it is closed, but, nevertheless, invisible rays do reach inside, giving life to the environment. Do not wait for my light to penetrate inside you, keeping the doors of your spirit closed. How pleasant it will be to see your inner temple prepared, receiving the grace of my charity. Let me heal and comfort you, and then I will make you my workers and disciples. 36. Many of you who are nothing in life now, since even in your family you are the last ones, you will see each other soon sitting at my table. Those of you who have been repudiated and cast out of your bosom, tomorrow you will be recognized by the same ones who had not known you. 37. Do you want to sensitize or temper your heart? Take this path, which is that of humility, elevation, and charity. Bring the balm to the sick. Draw near to the beds of pain. Console those who suffer, and respect those who before you have taken up this cross. Imitate those who stay awake studying my work, and those who, despite drinking a cup of bitterness, are imparting sweetness among their brothers. 38. I speak thus to those who are about to pronounce the first words of spiritual language, to the toddlers to whom I am teaching the principles of the law and the purpose of my work. In it you will learn that praying from spirit to spirit, and by loving your brothers. 39. You will not only heal the sick, but you will raise the dead. 39. You will not only heal the sick, but you will raise the dead. In this humble region, where I am manifesting myself, I have come to reveal to you that the third era began in 1866, and that this communication will end in 1950. When many of my children have already listened to me, really I say, that these mouths that have given you my teaching have not spoken by their will, but under a divine inspiration. 40. Beloved farmers of this countryside, embrace your mission with true love, till my lands, opening furrows, in which you deposit the divine seed. Know the seed so that you will sow only from it, because in its fruit will be the elevation and the light of your spirit. Do you think it is fair to have to regret when you arrive at the spiritual abode, just for your lack of zeal in the mission that led you to inhabit the earth? 41. Do not forget that at every step I tell you to sow wheat in my fields, because those lands where weeds and the nettle has grown, they will be reaped by the sickle of divine justice. 42. I said the same to the disciples and the crowds in the secondary. Truly I tell you, that every tree that has not been planted by the hand of my heavenly Father, it will be uprooted. 43. Pray, workers, do it humbly before me and make sure that your sowing is pleasing to my eyes. Clean tirelessly your lands, seek the light to illuminate errors, until only wheat bears fruit. 44. A clean seed is what you have received. But your littleness has not managed to understand that purity, and without giving you account, you have mixed it with other seeds that are not mine. 45. I have told you, know the seed, so that you may purify your crops one by one, and when your children arise in the way of the Lord, from his lips only the truth sprouts. I see those who struggle to know the substance of this doctrine, but that until now they have not been able to free themselves from the influence of strange doctrines, religions, and dogmas. 46. People, help my spokesman with your prayers. Train and strengthen your prophets. Do not forget that when my communication is about to end, I will reveal many lessons that I have in store to close this time. After the time of this communication, my light will help you. 47. Understand what you heard, with which you can separate the essential and the true from the superfluous, that is, from what is material. 48. I will inspire this people, witness of my word, to study deeply my teachings, so that they know how to analyze what I said and what is the essence of my doctrine. 49. When you have passed the preparation stage and are ready to teach, I will open the way for you, and then you will no longer be intimidated by the obstacles and thorns or the traitorous dyes and threats that you encounter, because everything will be prepared for your sowing. 50. Everything I have arranged, and my light will be shed on you as the dew descends on the valleys in the silence of the nights. Love is what you will have to sow. How do you want the peoples to make peace pacts, if in their hearts love does not exist? 51. I told you that peace would be in men of good will, and yet in no people on earth is found that good will. 52. That is why it is necessary for a people to emerge without ambitions from the riches of the world, to be the one who teach charity, prayer, virtue, and faith. I will call that people mine, and men will know it as God's people, from the morals of their men, their good manners, and the virtuous life they lead. It will spring peace that fills humanity with well-being, without forgetting that perfect peace, that which is the only one capable of flooding the spirit with happiness. It only descends to the one who goes in search of it through true love. 53. When will you achieve peace of spirit? If you have not even managed to obtain peace of heart, I tell you, as long as the last murder weapon has not been destroyed, there will be no peace among men. Murder weapons are all those with which men kill themselves, kill morals, deprive themselves of liberty, take away their health, take away their tranquility, or destroy faith. 54. The limit for so many evils to cease is already close. That's why my voice, resonating in the depths of spirits, has called upon the men of all peoples to lay down their weapons of destruction and death, and in the fire of my justice they are consumed. 55. Then I will speak spiritually, and my voice will be heard in the conscience of all my children. 56. If arrogant and foolish humanity meditate and pray, it will realize where it is heading and it would stop its steps. But full light cannot be made in his spirit, because hatred and ambitions blind him. 57. Pray, all those who wish to be part of the people of peace. Come to the light, all those who wish to extend a fraternal hand to his brothers to save them. 58. The seed of evil, scattered throughout the earth, is bearing fruit as never before. But I have to tell you that the good seed is also sprouting from different parts of the planet. 59. Prepare yourself spiritually, all those who feel that in your heart this divine seed is beginning to germinate, so that when you meet other sowers on your paths, you can recognize them and unite in my law. My peace be with you.